ask you, is there any part of you as a mother of two daughters and a son? I'm kind of thinking just for a moment about this, that this is the man who talked about grabbing women by the pussy. Is there any part of you that feels this is not my guy? I don't want this guy to be talking like this about any woman at all. Do you not despair for the future in any ways?
Sweetie, I would rather be grabbed by the pussy than have a pussy for president.
So, Katie, you're looking at me here. I'm size 26, I'm 18 stone, I'm 45 years old, OK? You said you've never seen a fat, happy person. You're looking at one.
You're not hard to spot.
Thanks, Katie. Well,
do you know, sorry, that's just mean.
Yeah.
Kate Hopkins, especially with an ugly face, like she has. Oh, sorry, no punctuation. I mean, you need punctuation to make sentences work, I'm just going to say. Especially with an ugly face, like she has ugly on the inside too. Little bit of English. Learning in English lessons, didn't do so well at GCSEs, no. Left school with 1. Yeah.
I mean, the dehumanisation and the othering of immigrants, of foreigners, of Muslims coming into Europe, the xenophobia. Katie herself has said, show me the bodies floating in the water, play violins, show me skinny people looking sad, I still don't care. And she's also called for gunships to force migrants back.
I've been the biggest bitch in Britain for a long time now. Over 3 million Brits have signed a petition, calling for a second EU referendum after Friday's Brexit vote. Don't you love this petition? I love it, I love it, I love it, because every time someone clicks on it, I can hear the tears of a sorry loser falling on their keyboard, sticky from the last time they got off playing some kind of PlayStation game when they've never seen the light. They've probably got skin as translucent as net curtains. Big news for you all. Big news for the sorry losers, big news for the in-team. Clicking on a petition is not going to do anything. You cannot invent retrospective laws to make the bar higher just because you failed to jump over it. At Firecracker, quite like that. At Kate Hopkins, has someone installed empathy software into the well-known critic? OK, it made me laugh. That's a win.
Was this a plan to become a professional figure of hate?
I don't think professional figure of hate sums it up. I think
what sums it up? How would you say your job title is?
I'll answer if you give me a space. And I think the thing I do properly is divide stuff. So I divide stuff pretty much 1-to-1. My ratio is love me, hate me. And obviously if you're in a BBC studio, it's going to go more around the hate me type of place. But the thing that people like that I do is that I iterate the stuff that you can't say anymore because no one's allowed to say it, because our left-wing media here at the BBC and other Guardian-absorbing places...
I work at the Daily Telegraph during the week, just to temper your
glorious institution.
Do you ever think I shouldn't have said that and I should apologise?
Give me an example.
Well, for instance, when my sister was in Big Brother, you constantly, every day, day in, day out, went on about, I wish she'd put her ugly fat arm away. I wish she'd pick up her very droopy breasts. She looks like an ill person that smells of... She didn't put this politely, but urine.
Do you believe that immigrants are more likely to commit criminal acts than natives? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, I'm saying that. It's shown to be true in the statistics. I think culturally the two don't map together. They have no respect for white women whatsoever. They do not have respect for me. I'm a dirty Kaffir as far as they're concerned. They'd call me a whore and they'd be happy to use me at their will. And I don't want myself nor my daughters exposed to those type of gentlemen. And gentlemen they are not.
Do you know what my passion is? My passion is...
eating.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Look, none of us are that polite behind closed doors. My girlfriends have ruder language.
Katie, he's no longer in the locker room. He's in the Oval Office.
Sure, and that was a private conversation 8 years ago before he was running. Whilst Clinton was in the Oval Office, of course, Monica Lewinsky was on her knees with Hillary stood right by her. So I don't know if you're going to say that's any better, sweetie, because I don't think it is.
Amazing. One last one on Europe. If Angela Merkel is saying this, and she's in such deep political trouble, would you go so far as to say that it is the migrant issue, the Muslim migrant issue, that has broken up Europe? I mean, again, am I being too strong on this?
Absolutely. For me, Brexit was determined by the migrant issue. I believe we voted to leave the European Union because we did not want to be told how many migrants we were going to have to take. I now believe the same parallel will happen. America will have its Brexit, and I believe this is the moment Donald Trump wins this thing, because we've had enough of people telling us, oh, but it was only these 3 or 4 migrants, these 3 or 4 Muslims that did this. Everyone else is lovely. We get told here, oh, but Katie, a lot of the people that are also injured are Muslim. That doesn't make it okay. Multiculturalism isn't if we all die together. You know, I think this wins it for Donald, and that makes me a happy girl.
You know, I really think you should apply for a green card.
I'm coming over.
We've got a lot of space in America.
At Harry Roan, at Kate Hopkins, Fat Ginger ISIS, ADHD, single mums, babies. You want to eradicate them all. This is the real world, right here, right now. No, son, it's you, sat in your mum's house, in your bedroom, downstairs, in your boxer shorts, writing stuff on Twitter. Anyway, good luck with that.
A fat tax for fat flyers. I have to pay for my 20 kilograms of luggage on cheap, crappy flight and airlines, yes. When some fat chubster just up the aisle from me, I'm gesturing now in this direction, I think that might be more tactful, doesn't have to pay anything to get on board that plane, when quite clearly they are carrying more cumulative luggage, and I think when you check in, you should weigh in. Gesturing wildly in any direction so that no one feels victimised, you, my chubster friend, are going to have to pay.
I feel Brexiteers, you know what? This country is we, because we are united, and actually Brexiteers are actually very passionate, patriotic people who believe we are one country. I think it's Ramonas who are divisive. All of your multiculturalism nonsense. We now live in a city of ghettos, thanks to your multiculturalism. We, Brexiteers, have patriotic feelings. We will stand up for our country, and we will not see people like you, Dave, take it down.
Go for it.
This is snort-worthy, Katie. I mean, I just can't believe that you're such an insufferable snob.
Is that your argument?
Everything that's on me tells a story in its own.
And you, of course, said that you would never employ someone with a tattoo.
No, and I certainly wouldn't employ somebody that looks like that. I don't understand what this is. This is just an entirely inked arm, isn't it? It's just a blue arm. You say it tells a story. I don't see what a blue arm says about you.
Even in the recession, it was the one business that didn't only survive the recession, it thrived through the recession. There's 20 million people with tattoos in the UK alone.
And the other business that thrived in the recession was tattoo removal or laser removal. How on earth are you going to get yourself back to normal?
I don't see it as being back to normal. This is myself, and I express myself.
I can see the camera through your left ear. I can see it through your left ear.
Yeah.
Do you not? And if I looked from that side of your head through that side, I reckon I could see all the way through.
OK.
Do you get upset ever? What makes you angry? Because obviously you provoke a lot of people, but I wonder what makes you angry.
Oh, so many things make me angry. I'm outraged on a daily basis. I'm outraged by child and parent parking spaces. You had a child, you didn't lose the ability to walk. I'm outraged by the fact that we're now going to classify the obese as disabled and require them to do less in their employment.
You know, what we needed in America was someone that was going to have a strong lead, who was going to stand up for white people as well as black people in America, who was going to stand up for bringing jobs back, for allowing Americans to have their weapons, and for allowing the Supreme Court to be a conservative Supreme Court. No one here can really understand that, which is why the pollsters were wrong, why you guys were wrong, why state broadcasters were wrong, and every other commentator and every other pundit was wrong.
Last question
because you didn't get it right.
I think this is just pure hatred. and there is no room for hatred in this society, I don't think, anymore.
Ultimately, I have no hate. I have no hate. I have no hate.
No, you do. You clearly do.
Listen, Dolly, I look for the best in everyone. It's just that I so seldom find it.
And you're looking in the wrong places.
I'm looking at you right now. No, there is nothing but love in this studio.
No, and seriously,
and there's nothing but love for my rules.
You don't know what people's stories are. Forget about the medical side.
I'm not interested in their stories.
No,
I haven't got time. I haven't got time for your stories. I'm going to look at you, make a quick assessment.
Because you don't want to hear you don't even want to hear my argument.
No,
because I'm about to shut you down.
You're a raging, angry, fat person in a pink jacket.
Absolutely, yes, I can take you down in a fight anytime.
You're going to fight me?
I could take you down.
Okay, let's do it.
But hang on, guys, let's bring this in.
I don't agree with what you say, so I am going to fight you! But once you've reached a safe destination, you need to stay there, and it's the reason we've given them so much funding. What you don't want to do is put your small baby into an inflatable where they will die, and you don't need to come to Greece, and you don't need to come to the mainland of Europe. Now, what we have a problem with, given that you mentioned World War II, is Germany is so desperate to make up for its past that it feels that it has to welcome all migrants, and that's the very reason they started coming here. We have turned a trickle into a flood, and that flood has to be stopped, and I don't see many people, including Mr. Anza, with any solutions to the issue. At Pam Musset, at Kate Hopkins, every day at Mariah Carey flushes down the toilet more talent than you'll ever have. I think that says more about you, Pam, than it does me. I'm sorry that you got called Pam. I'm not sure whoever looks down at a cot and a little tiny baby and thinks, oh, I know, I'll call you Pam.
Isn't this rule, the fat tax, is because it's costing the airlines more?
Darling, it is. It's perfectly practical. It's perfect business sense, which is why you can understand, darling.
Are you not a bit confused that Gemma is agreeing with the business case of the airlines in terms of obesity?
That's greed, and that's just greed.
Okay. Well, I think you're a perfect example of greed, Sweet Pea, because you weigh 25 stone.
Actually, no, I'll tell you what. I will tell you actually why I am, because I have anxiety issues. What you're doing is just fat shaming. Okay. That's pure and simple.
No, I'm not.
Fat shaming.
I'm
yes, you are.
The Samoa
you're fat
Airlines
shaming.
Model.
I treat people how I expect to be treated. And we know how you treat people, Katie. As I say, your views on most things to me are absolutely reprehensible, whether it's disability...
I'm direct,
No, you're not direct. You're a bigot. You're a bigot.
I'm not a bigot. I'm direct.
No, I know you like to believe you're direct, OK, but you're a direct bigot. So that's what you are. But
Women don't like it. Women don't like it.
Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Do not delude yourself that it's only women who don't like you. Men don't like you. Is
there an off button, Sonia? Because I'd like to press it right now. Women do not compete in the same level as men.
Do you not realise where you're going with this?
How did you get this big?
This is actually to do with a hate crime.
Okay,
and
you're a victim of hate crime.
Absolutely.
And
can we call the police?
Are there more people?
Would you like to bring the police in?
There's a telephone right there.
I think we should do it right now.
Go for it. There's a phone.
Great.
It's probably
have my phone and we'll call the police.
Would you like it brought to you? Because it's probably going to be hard to walk
there. I just find it...
Yeah. It became personally offensive, and I believe it is a hate crime, and I'd like to report it.
The rise of the right is a fantastic thing, and I think Angela Merkel, mother of all migrants, did us a great service, actually, when she opened up all the borders and said, come on in. She actually created this change. She made Brexit happen. She made... Donald Trump's victory happen. Donald Trump will reinforce Brexit. I think we'll see Marine Le Pen in power.
Do you think it would be worth...
I think Italy will fall to the right as well, and I think that's a fantastic thing. I'm a really proud Brexiteer. I'm delighted England and the rest of the UK are leaving the EU, and from this proud Brexiteer, I'd like to say to Americans that voted Donald Trump, thank you very much indeed. Go, 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 make America great again.
Don't forget to like my shit.